Welcome everyone to the show of all shows. It is Chillin with the Villain, the classic wrestling review podcast. Now, typically we review old wrestling pay-per-views. Mind you, saying that, I think it's fair to say we've been mixing up quite a bit lately, huh, Sam?
I think so.
We have, and we have done a handful of interviews in the past. And for this week, I've managed to cement us a very exciting interview. Before I go any further, allow me to introduce myself. I am the villain, Marty Skirl, and joining me, as always, is the producer of the show, Mr. Samuel Scott.
Hello.
Hello, Sam. So today we have a interview with former WWE superstar Kalisto, now known as Samuray Del Sol. I believe you were quite the fan of Kalisto even before this interview took place. Am I right by saying that?
Yeah, well, Lucha House Party. Yes, if you remember that. I know he was in Lucha Dragons before that with Sin Cara, but for me, it was Lucha House Party where I was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
this is pretty cool.
It's funny because we're going to talk about it with Kalisto, but I had the opportunity to wrestle with him many years ago, at least over 10 years ago, in England. And then he went off to the WWE, so our paths never really crossed until sort of the last few years. And caught up with him at a show in Atlanta, I want to say, and then we did a show together in Poland. And it's funny with wrestling, like you all see someone and then you won't see them again for a decade, and then you just go right back to it. It's very funny, and it's kind of like we say in wrestling, like, until our paths cross again, and I see you down the road, and typically you always do. So yeah, that was very nice with Kalisto to see him again. I thought, you know what? I feel like he's got probably a very interesting story, and I feel like the listeners of the Chillin with the Villain podcast would love to hear it. So I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get into it. Here's our interview with Kalisto, now known as Samuray Del Sol. So here we are, as promised. Joining us on the show today, he is a former WWE United States champion, former WWE Cruiserweight champion. He is the former WWE superstar, Kalisto, now international superstar, my friend, Samuray Del Sol. Brother, how you doing?
Oh, hermano, man, long time no see, bro. For real, dog.
You know what I think? What I should have said, you're the, which I think is very clever, the GLOAT, the greatest luchador of all time.
That's always something I'm always aiming for. I just want to be the best, I mean, like everybody else, there's there's competition everywhere. So why not aim for the best? I want to aim to be the greatest luchador of all time.
The thing is, if you don't believe it, no one else will. So you have to, right? Exactly. I'm trying to be a great luchador myself at the moment, so I completely understand.
You are, bro.
Who would you say is the greatest luchador of all time?
Of all time, man. But you know what? It's something too that I'm aiming for. One day writing a book. If it's the greatest lucha of all time, it's the fight of everything that I've been through, my life and everything. That's something too that why I chose the GLOAT, besides my character that I was aiming for, the greatest, and before WWE, like right out WWE, I was aiming towards that. But it also too just gave me the idea too of just writing a book, becoming the GLOAT, becoming the greatest lucha of all time. But it's also the greatest fight of my life, of everything that I've been through. But that's a goal of mine.
No, I think that's really cool. I feel like it's very therapeutic to write, especially for us wrestlers that just have so much. I mean, I'm sure you experienced this, have so much going on in your head so many times. To get it out in writing feels pretty good, right?
Oh yes, definitely, man. It's just like I don't stress over it. Like whenever I feel like writing, I write it. If I don't, you know what I mean? Like I just go by the feel. I just let it write itself. Okay, I felt like this. Okay, like that, and then I just let it grow, and then from there, and like hopefully, I just got so much stuff still to do. So much goals, and my books, my life is not done yet, man. You know, like that's why that word keeps me going.
No, totally. Do you write in English or in Spanish?
Both Spanglish, English, or
Yeah.
mostly English. Yeah, yeah. No. I mean, in my house, I speak Spanglish all the whole time. So, I mean,
Like,
or English or Spanish.
I always wondered this. So, for someone like yourself who speaks both English and Spanish,
Yeah.
I know you brought up in Mexico, but then went to the States at a young age. Do you think in English or Spanish? And do you dream in English or Spanish? Like that, I always find really interesting.
That is so funny because it's I mean, I think in English and then I dream in Spanish in a weird way, but
Really?
it all
wow.
depends. It all depends on what I feel like. I don't know, like tomorrow I want to have some eggs, like huevos or huevos con, tacos con huevos, like tacos with egg tacos or something, something we do in the morning and something.
Right.
Either or, I just think about it like both ways. So as long as long as I think about it fast, if that makes sense.
Right. So if you were going to count something, let's say you're counting your egg whites.
1, 2, 3, 4,
how would you
5,
do that?
7.
Okay.
Yeah, or whatever it is, fast.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha. Well, speaking of fast, it's crazy. Because the first time I met you was years ago in, I believe, 2012, maybe in England.
Yeah,
when we wrestled each other.
Southwest Wrestling.
Well, it was South Wrestling. There we go. Yeah. Ben Old. Yep. Shout out. And I didn't realize, because it's funny because our paths crossed, but not for too long. It wasn't long after that you ended up in WWE. And when I was just doing some research on you, I was like, God, like he was in WWE like for a long time. It was a long time ago now, huh? Like,
and I mean, to be honest, like when I look, actually, I do remember seeing some old pictures of us like wrestling. In UK, and man, it was fun, but the years just went by so fast. Like,
yes,
I couldn't even remember like what happened in 2017 or 15. I'm like, I always told my wife too, like, man, I can't even remember. Like the years just went by so fast, and it was just like sometimes it seems like a blur,
It does.
It's just like, like you're in the road so much, you're traveling so much every day, and then from one town to the other, and then you're home for like real quick, and then the other day another. It's just like, man, you can't even like sink in like what time you have been to. That's because you just go in and out, and again the days goes to months goes to days, hours. It just goes so fast, man.
It really does.
And but now that like when I'm home, it just makes me realize it's like, man, like to be honest, like everything what I've been through, like my sacrifice, man, like everything, dude. It's just like I started thinking about everything that I've been doing and what I've done, and now what I want to do in the future. It's just so much I want to do still, It just makes me really think about, all right, I've done this much. Is okay. What's next?
No,
I'm always thinking like that.
I'm totally with you, and you realize as well,
Right?
like how you've been wrestling, whatever it's been, like 18, 20 years, whatever it's been, and we're in our 30s now, and you realize kind of how precious time is and how short life is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that too. And you know what? I realized so much about that because, especially since Bray passed away, man. Like, it's like it hit me too. Like, it was hard. It was hard because it made me too realize, like, man, life's so short.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to. I mean, I appreciate everywhere where I'm going and where. Man, last time I saw you was in Poland, right?
Yeah,
man, absolutely. Cool. Awesome time, man. And
absolutely.
We had a great time experiencing the food and everything. The culture was awesome. That's what I missed.
No, I think as you get older, you appreciate, like I used to do, for years, obviously wrestled in loads of different places.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, as you get older, things will happen. And, it's like when Jay Briscoe passed away, it was just like,
oh man,
like it feels so real when it's someone that you work with, someone of a similar age. And I feel like you start to, for example, going to Poland, rather than just looking at it as like, I want to have a booking, you start to be like, okay, I'm going to try and really appreciate this, really try and enjoy it, really try to be present. And it's something that you, in your 20s, you just, like you said, you're so on the go, you don't even think about it. I feel like now, as I've got older, I just try to like be grateful and be appreciative for everything. Do you know what I mean?
And that's exactly what hit me too, you know, besides my experience and everything and what I've seen and experienced. I mean, everything. It's just like, man, like, and everything that I'm doing and where I'm going, I just appreciate everything. So like, even in my seminars, man, there's so many kids that I just love helping, man. Like, they're helping with their finishers and like how to everything. Just, I love helping, man. You know that, man. I'm always like helping. I never like, um, get into trouble or anything. I just, dude, you know, I'm a chill guy, dude. I like enjoying life now. You know, I just really like, yeah, dude, living, man. Because again, we have one life. I just appreciate it all, you know. I mean, I almost died, you know, because the whole damn experiences, you know. Again, I've been through it all. Again, I'm just happy and grateful. Whatever it is, I still like working hard. I like busting my butt, and I like looking good for myself. You know, I like feeling good, and I like being healthy. I want to live a long time. You know,
it's pretty refreshing to hear that, because I feel like this generation's maybe a bit different, but in previous generations, and I'm not trying to dump on any other generation, but a lot of wrestlers, it can happen where, you know, as they spend longer and longer in the business, they can become like resentful and bitter and everything else. And there is something to that with wrestling, kind of, you know, chewing you up and spitting you out. And, you know, many people could argue that. But with me, I just try to think like, you know, this business doesn't owe me anything. And like everything I have from it, or every time I get to do it is a blessing. Do you know what I mean? So
oh yeah, definitely.
I think you have to think like that. Otherwise you just go stir crazy.
Definitely. I mean, some people will understand, and some people will have to go through it. You know, unfortunately, you know, I learned the hard way myself. I learned the hard way, and because I've been through it all. So that's why it just now I know and appreciate life, and I know what to do, and I know how to, like, if I fall, I know how to get up already. You know, instead of staying down.
Right.
Before, like I used to think, you know, mentally and physically. But yeah, dude, like again, like it's just people. Some people learn the hard way, and they have to learn the hard way. Some people just get it. But to me, unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way. But I learned. I learned.
You suffered, if you don't mind me saying, it was you suffered really bad with COVID-19, right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was just really bad. I nearly like it was just bad. Like my heart stopped 3 times. It was like nearly 3 heart attacks and stuff. I was like in the ER 2.5 months.
Oh my!
But dude, it just hit me hard. I don't know, out of nowhere. Dude, I was super lean.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were super. Like you're saying about heart and stuff. It's like you seem so healthy to me, you know.
Dude, and I mean the thing is that like I was just super lean, and it just hit me really hard because I think I had no defense, and I was because I was working out like crazy.
Yeah,
I was working out like 4 times a day, man.
So, I've seen like your splits and stuff. Do you? Is it yoga that you do, or?
I mean, I don't know, dude. I like even my wife, like she gets so mad at me because like I just like pushing myself to the limit, you know. Like I like pushing myself so much that like let me see how far I can take it. Let me see how far I can go. Sometimes I even probably sometimes be passing out in my garage gym. So it's just I just be hitting hard. I don't know, but then like she started buying me snacks here and there because I wasn't eating much. But yeah, my wife like takes care of me. But I was going hard, man. I was going really hard. I don't know why. I just something hit me. I just started, and then all of a sudden I just started being lean. I'm like, all right. But yeah, dude. After that, again, it just hit me hard, and I had no defense. But yeah, dude, it's just it took me a while to recover. To be honest, like maybe close to a year.
How'd you feel now?
I feel better. Dude. I mean, after long time trying to take care of myself, man. I mean, my lung power is a little better. I have my inhaler, my asthma inhaler regularly, but dude, it's not as bad. but every now and then I do get winded. But it's just a work in progress, and the stronger I work out, and especially my lungs, the better I'll get. So it's just time process, man. Time process. But
do you find it challenging in the ring now, or is that
what's up?
Okay. Do you find it challenging in the ring at the moment, or
no, it's great. I mean, dude, last time I saw you in Poland, I was still kind of barely getting better.
You killed it that night with Seidel, though. Remember, you had the crowd rocking, right?
Dude, it was fun. Oh, that day, dude, it was fun. The whole show, dude, it was great, man. The whole atmosphere, dude, it looked like it reminded me like a big live event.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that was so awesome. It was so cool, man. But yeah, dude. I mean, it was a lot of fun, dude. You know that. It was so cool.
I wanted to take a minute to talk about our newest sponsor, MadCatBeardCare.com. Myself, I have a beard. Sam, you have a beard. Beards are very popular now, but you've got to take care of your beard. You got to get yourself over to MadCatBeardCare.com. I'm looking at the oils and the balms on there. First of all, they're all designed by different pro wrestlers and marketed as different pro wrestlers. So there's a bunch of guys involved with this, like Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, Delirious, Jay Lethal, a whole collection of awesome wrestlers that have their own product on madcatbeardcare.com. Not only that, but a portion of the profits go to cat rescues around the country. So I think that's already exciting. But the beard oils and the balms both are made from organic argan oil, jojoba, and vitamin E, which when combined helps to soften, strengthen, and vitalize and stimulate circulation in the face, nourishing and strengthening the hair follicles to assist growth. Now, this is what you need. If you've got a patchy beard, you need to get yourself to madcatbeardcare.com. The balms also include the same oil and mixture as the oils, but he adds the shea butter, which helps alleviate itch and irritation to your face, while also helping control pesky stray hairs by allowing you to style them into place. He uses local organic beeswax that helps to get more of a hold to your style. So you got to look after your skin underneath your beard just like you do your scalp. Like, these aren't things that you can neglect. And that's why we've teamed up with madcatbeardcare.com. And right now, just for listening to the show, you can get yourself a whopping 15% off products at madcatbeardcare.com by using the code VILLAIN. That's 15% for the promo code VILLAIN. That's VILLAIN. Pick yourself up the Villain's Curse, my own beard oil, my own beard balm. That's exactly what I use every day on my face to make my famous beard look beautiful. You can do the same thing too. So last time I'm going to say it, get yourself over now to madcatbeardcare.com. Promo VILLAIN. You travel, it seems like, I follow you on Instagram. We don't talk all the time, but I follow you on your Instagram.
Yeah,
you seem to be... Thank you. Well, you seem to be doing a lot of traveling. Like, where have you been recently on your travels? Because it always seems like you're in some interesting country. And I'm like, I want to try and get booked there too. So tell me where you've been.
Dude, it just happened. Out of nowhere. I worked in Jeddah and Riyadh. I stayed there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I was there for 2 weeks. And man, there are a bunch of young kids that they learn wrestling through YouTube.
What?
So, yeah, and of course they have their parents that did the whole show, and they put everything together, and they made the kids' dreams come true. And since I guess they have a new president, there's new laws. Now there's like events like that, and they want to bring wrestling there, and they started that ever since. And
that's amazing.
I thought it was pretty cool, and they told me the whole story. Now they're allowed to do big events like that. They're bringing. They brought WWE in Riyadh for their. I think they have like a big event where they showcase everything. Like they showcase WWE. And
I saw that. Yeah,
it's there now. So so you see, they're starting to do big events now there because that new president changed everybody's lives, and everybody's happy there now. And now It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, actually.
It is. It's changed a lot. Like, what year did you leave WWE? It's 2019, 20?
2021 of August, I believe.
I mean, it's changed a lot since then. That thing you said about in Jeddah, they set up like the world there, and there was some kind of like live experience there or something like that.
Yes, something. I think I forgot the name of the tower, but it's a very popular tower there. They have like a little showcase of lasers and stuff, and like it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I forgot the name, but it's really popular there. Yeah, I went there. It was pretty nice.
Oh, you checked it out?
Yeah, dude. Oh, it was amazing. They took me everywhere, pretty much.
That's awesome.
I had a great time. Again, like, and me, I was just showing them wrestling and lucha libre at the same time. You know how to bounce on the ropes and stuff, and just the fact that they're eager to learn, man, it's so cool. And I became their Saudi tag team champion over there.
Awesome.
With their other guy that's his name is MK. And he's like a MMA fighter slash pro wrestler. So
nice.
Over there. And yeah, dude, it's pretty cool.
So you got the return booking then?
Yeah.
If you're the tag champ, you got to go back.
I told him my goal is to because they want to come to the States and wrestle, and they want to bring people from the States to wrestle over there. I'm like, well, there you go. I want to open doors where everybody can just go over there, because their dream is to wrestle and now to have everybody should have an opportunity to go wrestle in Jeddah or Riyadh. It's called Saudi Pro Wrestling, SPW.
That's awesome, man.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. And again, they're just hungry kids, man, and that makes me like, wow, hungrier. You know what I mean? Like, because nobody helped me, so I put myself in their shoes. I'm like, man, like I just want to help you. Look, do this, do that. You know what I mean? And they're already talking about coming to the States and looking for where to work. And like, man, here it is, though. I just want to show them the door, you know?
That's, no, I totally see it. Like, of all these shows that you do and all the travels that you do, different countries.
That's what I do.
Yeah, it seems like you're just on flights everywhere. Is there particular promotions that really stand out to you, or particular wrestlers that you've seen recently that you've been impressed by that you think could be like big stars? Or anyone in particular?
Yeah, I've seen, man. I mean, there's a couple of kids in Saudi and Singapore that I went.
Singapore.
Last year. It was, I went to Singapore to wrestle.
How was that?
It was pretty cool. There's a lot of great talent there, man. I just saw.
Wow.
It's I saw a couple characters. They're like, wow, this guy's gonna be a star.
Yeah.
Something Dragon, but. It's just the names, you know. I suck with names.
No, I'm with you. I'm the same.
Dude, there were so many talented people over there, man. And people from China that came there to wrestle at that Singapore wrestling show.
Wow,
that was pretty cool, man. Dude. Everywhere I go, there's always somebody.
Have you seen this? It's kind of gone viral on the internet. Sam, I'm not sure if you've seen this yet. I think it's called soft ground wrestling.
Yes,
you've seen that. You got to see this, Sam. Just Google it, Sam.
Cool.
It's in Uganda, right?
Yeah, I thought it was so cool, man.
And somehow it's like blowing up. These in Uganda, they're wrestling on mud, and it's a group of people that love wrestling. And for whatever reason, the videos have gone kind of viral. And I think Osprey donated money to them to buy their own ring, and I think Shima was there from Gleat was there the other day, and the Maximum Models, you know those guys, right? Mansoor.
Yeah, cool. Oh man, that is so cool.
We should go over there, bud.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, tag me in.
yeah. Well, I think, you know, our generation of wrestlers is very much like we all kind of grew up wanting to be wrestlers. I mean, I'm not speaking for you, but I assume that's the majority of people. So then when we see these kids in Uganda having this big dream, we're kind of like, we want to help them, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
Like, no, like, that's exactly what I thought. So I think it's really cute that those guys are doing that. This is something else I've seen of you recently. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but are you okay? Because I saw you and Riddle had a like incident, like a reverse Rana, where you kind of had a bad landing. Were you okay from that?
Oh yeah, man, dude. I mean, accidents happen, you know.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
It was on both, man. I went up too high, and then it was kind of like a delayed fall. Like it was, man. Again, and when he actually checked up on me at the end of the match right away, it was pretty cool about
Good.
it, and he was just great. I'm like, no, dude, like, and I said, and I just like within myself, you know how we are perfectionists,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, dude, like it was just the that wasn't even planned, but we was just kind of like if I feel the crowd, let's just do it. All right, cool. And it was just one of those moments. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, and then that's why I will say practice makes perfect. I should have practiced that move. It's been a while I haven't practiced that move, but I got too excited. Again, it was just both of us. We just had both miscommunications. Stuff happens.
Well, I just want to make sure you're okay.
Oh, dude, again, I'm just grateful. Everything was great. Dude, like it's second nature. Whenever something like that happens to me, I know like where to go because I've been dropped so many times in my career. So I already know where to go. So it's like second nature to me, man. So thankfully, everything went well. We finished the match. It was great. We had a different finish, but we just called it in the ring. Like, yo, all right, cool. Let's go home right here.
Yeah, sometimes when something like that happens, yeah, sometimes it's best to be like, okay, we've given up. Let's take it home.
Yeah, and I'm just glad both of us are okay. And mostly my neck, but I'm good, dude. I'm good. Everything.
Good.
I mean, I following day in Atlanta.
You wrestled again?
Yeah, the following day in Atlanta. And that was in Boston when I got hurt.
Jeez, I guess that kind of brings me to my next question. So, you obviously luchador. When we say luchador, you're a high flyer, take risks, and I'm sure there's a lot of wrestlers out there that probably take even more risk than you and do crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. It does feel like now that the style of pro wrestling is probably more high risk than ever. What is your sort of thoughts on that with the style of wrestling, where it's going? Do you think, what is your thoughts on it? Do you think this makes it more exciting? Do you think it needs to be toned down? Do you think, what's your overall opinions on the style of wrestling today?
I think it's great if they can do it, if they can do those moves 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I just want them to be safe because I know they're high risky moves. Accidents happen. I mean, look at what happened to me. It's just, again, the injury of the head and the neck is very, very sensitive. And yes, it's great. The moves are great, but you just gotta, it's all about trusting one another. It's great. I just always want to I just hope they don't get hurt. You know what I mean? It always it's like, oh, that is beautiful. But I'm like, oh my God. But if you would have just moved a little bit, it's just like one of those, feelings of like, oh man, I hope you're okay. Because I've wrestled and knew friends that they were wrestlers, but when they fell on their head and it's like, that's it, they just retired. And just like, to me, it just broke my heart because man, that kid has so much talent, but after a fall, that's it, just retired. One little fall can risk it all. You know what I'm saying?
No, really, you can. Yeah.
It's just like, it's great at all, but everything, I always say everything within reason. Do everything within reason. If it's a title match, I understand. If it's a storyline, I understand. Here and there, but again, what we do and what everybody does is beautiful and all, but again, it's just being careful and toning it down a little bit. That would be great, and everybody will have a longer career. Everybody will have a long career because what everybody's doing right now, man, it blows my mind. It's awesome. But I want everybody to have a longer career. Just tone it down a bit,
I mean, wrestling is dangerous enough as it is, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
Are there moves that you used to do that you don't do anymore, that you kind of cut from the repertoire?
Oh yeah. The second rope corkscrew to the outside. I don't do that one no more.
You had a bad experience with that?
No, I know I can do it. I just don't have it in me. But it could be one of those 50. I'm sure if I can practice it, I'll practice it, then I'll get it back, in my muscle memory. But I do what I know for now.
Yes.
And I just have fun with it. I make sure the whole crowd's having fun with it. They're getting involved in my match, and I'm getting involved too with everybody. So I just make sure everybody's having fun because I want to still do this for a while. I don't want to just risk it all for a pop, and
Sure.
and then I cut my neck, and then or something like that happens. But then again, as you can see, I hurt myself. So again, I learned the hard way, but I learned again. It's a reminder.
You learned.
Oh, there you go. Now I know what to do.
Right. Did you get to the point where you kind of realize like, oh, I can do like lucha, and get just as much as reaction to a corkscrew. Yes. But at the same time, you're still like, I want to give the fans the best sort of show I can,
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Man.
It's a happy medium.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I love, I love storytelling. I love getting involved with the fans. Of course, like here and there, like I might have like a quick match here and there. Might feel different, but I do it for the cardio. Within myself. Right. I like doing. I just like, let me see if I can if I still have it in me, kind of thing. I've done a couple matches like that, like just fast paced, but it was different. But like, all right, cool. Let me do the style that I'm comfortable and know that I can do this for a while. Still within my moves and still feel great and walk great after my match. That's always my goal too. Making sure that I'm good. My knees are great. My neck, my back. I'm like, man, okay, I feel great. All right, cool.
That's me. Anytime I come back for the match, like to me, if I come back from the match and I feel completely fine, I'm not hurt at all. That to me is a great match.
Right there, you go. Oh man, that feeling is just like, oh, you did a good job. I'm like, all right.
Exactly. You mentioned about like storytelling. Do you feel like that's something you developed more of a skill of once you were inside WWE, or did you kind of get that side from the start, or like where did that come from? And I assume with WWE, I guess my second part question, it feels like online, at least with the wrestling community, with the fans, they seem to think that when a wrestler goes to WWE, they get toned down. Would you say that's actually reality, or what was your experience with that?
Well, at first, I started wrestling because I started picking it up with wrestling against Jerry Lynn, Petey Williams, dude, El Generico. I picked up so much from him.
Me too, actually. Yeah, I learned a lot from Generico.
Oh, man. And working at Evolve, Dragon Gate, CZW, PWG, against the Young Bucks, me, AR Fox. That style, I was just picking it up, as I went. And then from there, when I went to WWE, of course, because I was used to that style, the fast pace, because I first of all, I love the cardio. Second of all, man, I feel like I can do anything. That was the time I was like, man, I felt like I was
young.
Alive. Yeah, dude, I was alive and I was doing pretty much everything, second row, coach row, whatever. But anyways, after even in Mexico too, actually in Mexico, it's another different style. Dude, you wrestled in Mexico, bro. It's just first time I started wrestling over there, it's like, man, okay, they do things differently. 12, 3 caídas, 2 out of 3 falls. Yeah. Okay, but they do it differently. All right, cool. And then I just started picking it up from there. But I had an idea for what was Lucha Libre. Again, I had an idea already for what was American style. But when I got to WWE, that's when I really got to like understand what's the reason why you did that move? What's the go-to for the go home? I started storytelling, and things started making sense to me. It's like, okay, wait a minute, I don't have to kill myself too much right here. If I could put this and this, it will make sense for the match. It'll make, and I'll still showcase what I can do, and I can showcase even more, still saving my moves for the next match, because I don't have to like throw my whole move set on one match, and then from there I can still save it from the next one. So I started learning from that, and I started learning how to value myself too more. I mean, even though I did before, but even more. One thing too, Dusty, that helped me a lot. Went to because I used to do the lucha before, just out of like randomly, but I didn't know when to do it. And right before my finish, right, just to get the crowd, wait for the crowd to die down, do this and that. So finding a reason why to do my moves, that's what I learned in the performance center in NXT.
You got to work with Dusty?
Oh my god, man, yeah.
Oh wow, I would have loved to. I would have loved to work with
classes.
Dusty. That must have been awesome.
Oh, dude, he was so cool. He was such a jokester too, man. He's so cool. Every Wednesday we had promo class, and he just comes in with a random story or something. He went to a bar, this and that, and he saw this one-legged hooker or something like that. I'm like, what? And dude, he just like the story kind of went long, and then he made it like look like, oh yeah, then the tiger came, this and that, and he looked at me in my eyes. He said, "You're going to WrestleMania." I'm like, what? So it's like he made it believable. So
that's
cool.
So funny. Did those promo classes that they used to do in NXT, and they've always kind of fascinated me, or Dusty's promo classes. You must have seen a lot of people come and go, a lot of people try. When you were doing those promo classes, did you ever see anyone go up there and just completely bomb a promo, or do you ever see anyone go up there and just absolutely smash the promo where like everyone's standing ovation? Like, what were those promo classes like or look like?
Oh man, the standing ovation one, the one that comes to mind real quick is the Adam Rose one.
Tell us about
Adam Rose. Oh man, dude. Adam Rose at the time, dude, he was playing a different character. I can't think of
Leo Kruger.
Yeah, there you go, Leo Kruger. So yeah, dude, I think it was like either his final days before being let go, and he needed something, and on the spot, dude, he came up with that best character at the time, Adam Rose, and he did the promo, and we all popped and made a huge, dude, it was so cool. It's kind of like his whole career just turned around right there, and then I don't know if he resigned there and then or waited a day or two, but I thought it was like the best. We all thought it was like the best moment ever. Like he saved his career there and then. Like, man, we all like were so proud, and we're all clapped and stuff. It was so cool because that was like one of the best moments, like of someone kind of like, okay, I'll do whatever it takes to do the best promo, and that was it, man. And we witnessed it, man. I thought it was like the best moment ever.
That's really
and we
cool.
We all witnessed it, and dude, and he got a run. He got as much run as he got, but
he was pretty over for a minute.
Yeah, he was, man. And dude, I'm just grateful too, like to get to wrestle with him too. I got to wrestle with him a little bit, and I was a rosebud at some point.
I feel like everyone was a rosebud at some point. It seems.
Yeah, dude, I thought it was pretty cool. I had like a glow stick. I'm like,
did those early days of NXT kind of fascinate me? Like when NXT, obviously evolved from like FCW and whatnot. And it's just very interesting to see like those early NXT, either videos or pictures, because a lot of the top guys now all kind of came from that class. Like, what sort of memories do you have? Like, what stuck out to you in the early days of NXT? Like, when you went to WWE, were you like fully training all the time, or like I assume it was very different then to what it is now? And I guess a two-part question. Were there guys that were around in the early days of NXT that you thought, damn, this person's going to be a big star, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out for them? Because there's a lot of those people as well, it seems. As many stars they made, there's some people you think, oh, they're going to be a big deal, and then just for whatever reason drop off. I find the whole thing very fascinating.
Oh man, I mean, where do I start?
Well, were there people like when you saw Roman Reigns for the first time? I'm sure you were like, okay, this guy's probably going to be a big star, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You knew?
Yes, there's a couple people. Right off the bat, Chad Gable. I'll give it, dude. Like when I saw Chad Gable, everybody saw Chad Gable. Man, I'm like, dude, he just picks it up. This guy gets it, man. He's gonna be a star, man.
Really,
dude. He's doing great. He's doing great. He's doing awesome.
Yeah,
dude, I'm just so proud of him, man. Because like, I remember he used to be my workout partner at first at the Performance Center. And dude, and he just got stronger and stronger. And like, man, this guy surpassed me. He looks so great. But
yeah, he's jacked, man.
Man, he's great. And dude, he's an Olympian. So on top of that, he's great, man.
I'm glad he's getting a chance because for a while he was kind of all over the place. He did that when Vince was in charge. He did that Shorty G gimmick, and it's kind of like,
yeah. But look at
I didn't understand when he was in NXT. He was so good, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
That tag team,
another one, dude, another one that I saw right away that this person's gonna be a huge star, and I even told her, I was like, yo, you're gonna be a huge star, man. I feel it. Becky Lynch.
Really?
Man. Yeah, dude. Like it's gonna be it was so different. Everybody was like walking on eggshells and like kind of like looking like, oh man, like I want to do everything right, and you know how it is. Like you just it's just that feeling like the performance center just open and everybody just wants to do a great job and not mess up. So everybody just like kind of like walking on eggshells, kind of like, oh, okay, cool, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, Becky, when I saw her do it, I'm like, yo, you're gonna be a star, man. Come on. Like, who else? Oh yeah, again, Chad Gable.
It's funny, Becky Lynch. I think her name before that, because she's from Europe, obviously, and she was kind of on the European wrestling scene, and I think her name was it Rebecca Knox? Or was that someone else? I can't remember now. So. Maybe it was that, but I remember seeing her or seeing like pictures and clips of her and being like, "Oh, she's going to be a big star one day." And then I think she like retired or something, or was out of wrestling. And then all of a sudden, it was like a few years later. Oh, she joined NXT. It was like, oh, okay. And then just obviously the rest is history. You know? Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for this week. This will be part one of the interview. We're splitting this into two parts because we had such a good time talking to Kalisto. Thought, you know what, we could probably carry this over into 2 episodes. You know, we don't want to
cut it short. Yeah,
exactly. We didn't want to cut it short, so we thought, why not do a 2-parter? So today's episode, part 1. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure that you listen to part 2 next week. And once again, Kalisto is very, very open, very honest, and he goes into quite some detail about his time in wrestling, his health, his time in the WWE. So I feel like if you enjoyed this week's episode and the first part of the interview, you're going to really, really love next week's episode, part 2. If you did enjoy the episode, as always, please follow us on the social medias at The Villain Pod. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you really enjoyed the show, it would be lovely if you would give us a 5-star review. If you do that, we will read out your review on the show and we will give you a shout out as well. And that will really help us out with the algorithm, which means we can continue to do things like bring amazing interviews and reviews like we have been doing for the best part of a year now. So we'll get heading there. So yeah, please do that. But yeah, tune into next week for part 2 of our interview with Kalisto.
Yep, wonderful. Thank you for listening to part 1. Hopefully that will tide you over so you can have a good week. Till next week.